What's up, guys? Welcome to the show today. We're talking about finishing what you started. And this is an important topic, especially around this time of the year. Holidays are coming up, a lot of things going on, and it's easy to let our goals take a back seat. It's easy to let our passions take a back seat, and it's easy to let what matters most just fall into the wayside and get pushed aside until the new year comes around. And I know a lot of guys I talk to are anxious for a new year. They're ready for a fresh start following just a wild 2020. But if you're waiting for the turn of a calendar to turn your life around, you're already behind. The time to start is right now. And you have the power in this very moment to make a decision that will change your future. And that's a powerful decision that can happen at any time. And too often, people wait to have these big events to make changes. New Year's resolutions, change of a decade, birthdays, and those things are fine. I think those are great times to reevaluate what's important, kind of set aside the intentions, the goals for the next year, the next 10 years, or whatever it may be. But that alone is not enough. And if we just wait for those major life events, those major turns of the calendars to do that, we're going to be behind. And I want to talk about what it means to actually finish what you started, because a lot of us, a lot of people listening, I know, have set goals before. We've set New Year's resolutions. Trust me, I've set plenty of them, and too many of them that haven't gotten achieved because of the same reason of not biasing towards action, not realizing that at any point in time we can change our future by changing our actions today. And finishing what you started can be looking back at why you started and where you were looking to go in the first place. Think back to the beginning of the year. Let's think back to the start of 2020. I know a lot of people, business owners, friends, people trying to revamp their health, people trying to revamp their finances. And at the start of the year, there was so much excitement. There was so much excitement over all that we were going to do this year. And then I think we know what happened. There was a global pandemic and things didn't shape out the way that we thought they would. And all of a sudden we found people scrambling or trying to figure out how to even make this work, how to survive, let alone thrive. And we're not out of the woods yet on some of these things that are going on, but at the same time, we are in control to change it now. We are in control to make that decision, to look back and say, okay, at the beginning of 2020, I was excited about this. I wanted to get in this amazing shape, and I wanted to start this side business, and I wanted to do all these things. And if those things aren't happening, like, now is the time to finish what you started. Now is the time to be looking back and say, hey, I was excited about this, and this is why I was excited about it. Don't wait for another new year to happen, because we see how crazy a year can become. And there's so many life changes that happen, whether it's economically, globally, or otherwise just in our own families, our own lives, our relationships, sicknesses, things come up. And that's why it's so important to me to preach on the importance of not waiting, because I'm talking to guys right now and I've heard it. They're like, man, once 2021 comes, then I'll do blank. And it breaks me inside, because I was that way once, where it's always waiting for this next big event to create the change that was needed, waiting for something externally to spark an internal change. And you can't wait. There's no reason to wait, no need to wait. Our lives are too short, are too important to keep putting off what matters the most. So if you're in that spot where you're like, I don't know, the holidays are coming, I kind of want to just coast, I kind of want to, just start fresh come the new year, I urge you to not. I think the time is now, and the time is now. And I want to talk about why the time is now, because if you're waiting for the new year to come around, then you're not just 6 weeks behind, you're 12 weeks behind at that point, because what you're doing over the next 6 weeks is going to dictate how the first 6 weeks of 2021 start out. So the foundation is right now to start building that. And whatever that may be, we can talk financial goals, fitness goals, relationship goals, business goals, whatever it may be. The time is now to lay down that foundation, start putting down the framework, so that when the new year comes, when 2021 comes onto the calendar, you are ready. You already have momentum. You're steamrolling ahead versus so often I see people and I talk to people and the clients I work with, it's if we're just waiting for that, if we wait till that time comes, then all of a sudden that time comes and you're like scrambling to try and figure out what to do. And you're 6 weeks behind because you ate too much over the holidays. And we don't want to be in that state. So be a man of action, and whatever your goals are, you don't need to worry about seeing the whole picture. I was guilty of this for so long, of wanting to know what steps A through Z are, when you don't need to know all the last steps. You just need to know what step one is. And then you just need to start taking action into it. And like I said, now's the time. I don't want you guys to wait until January 1st. It's right now. Whatever your goals are, identify what that is and start moving towards that, because I know how tempting it is to want to enjoy the holidays. And not to say that you guys can't enjoy it. I'm all for enjoying time with family and however that looks this year and enjoying yourself. But the holidays don't need to turn into the next 6 weeks. And it's tempting to want to start fresh at the new year, but your time and your life are too valuable to put off what's important. And I fell into this. Like I said, I've fallen into this before, guys. And just on my story, I'm historically through as early as I can remember, middle school, high school, college, always been a procrastinator. I was always the one putting off studying until the night before, doing semester-long projects the night before. And at the time, maybe I took some stupid pride in being able to do that, but it is not the way to live our lives. And once I carried this into out of school and into personal life, I realized that, man, this doesn't work in the real world. You can't just put off your goals and your passions and all of a sudden cram them into one day. It's a daily process. It's taking daily votes to the person you want to become. And each day is a little, plus sign, minus sign. You can even look at it of, did I do some things that move me closer to what those goals are? Or did I do some things that move me away from those things? And these don't have to be grand things. These don't have to be, I made my first $100,000 in business. This could be, I called 5 people and told them about what my business was and asked if they could help me. These can be small things that over time carry incredible weight and incredible momentum. And the two things that, I relate to and I don't want to call it success, my progress in life have been to get rid of the procrastination thing, to start taking action when I didn't have the answers, when I didn't see the whole picture, when I just felt that need to move forward on it, to not doing so much planning and biasing towards action. And the second piece was always joining a group. So that this happened originally with our physical therapy business, joined a group of individuals and companies that were specifically in cash-based PT like we are. And that was instrumental, so valuable for our growth as a business, as individuals. And then recently it's been more of a, kind of just an overall personal growth group in general of guys progressing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and in business. And both these groups that I'm still a part of are so instrumental in my progress because I don't have it all together. I'm messing up very frequently. I need accountability. I need support. I need help in areas where I don't know what I'm doing. And surrounding yourself with a group like that is so powerful because you have people that are in your corner. You have people that are there and going through the same things, or even better, have been through those things and can help guide you towards how to avoid their mistakes, how to avoid things that they learned. And that is so valuable when it comes to your progress. And that's just on my story. And I've talked to so many people that are in the same position when they surround themselves with like-minded individuals, like-minded people trying to push to the next level, trying to improve themselves across all these areas of your life. Good things happen, and good things happen because there's incredible power in that. And for some practical steps here to kind of wrap up though, I want to talk through 3 main strategies to help you finish what you started. And I know for some of you that might be a health goal. For some of you that might be a business goal, a relationship goal, any kind of passion, a hobby, reading, any kind of personal growth things. Think back to what at the beginning of the year, if you set them, or not at the beginning of the year, if at any point during the year you said, hey, this is something I really want to do, but something that got away from you. I want you to focus on that because that was something that was there for a reason. That was something that was put on your heart for a reason, and something that you need to lean into to step into that life that you're trying to live, because it might seem small to you, but you don't know what kind of impact starting that new habit, starting that new hobby, getting in shape, you don't know the ripple effect that can have on not just your own life, but the life of so many people around you. So the first thing we want to talk about is, once you have that pictured in mind, is identify what's needed to get you to where you want to be. And we can use the health goal because that's a easy one for a lot of us to picture of, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds. Well, what are all those things needed to get you there? Do you have a background in health and fitness? Do you have those skills already? And it's just a matter of acting on it. That's going to be totally different than the person who's like, I've never lost 10 pounds before. I've always just naturally kept weight off. I don't have a background in nutrition or fitness or anything. I don't know what workouts to do. I don't know what nutrition to be consuming. Those are skills that you'll need to either learn or hire out. Those are your two options of which way to go with it. But those are the skills that you want to start to identify. Okay, I don't know how to lift weights. Maybe I should look more into proper lifting form. I don't know what running shoes I need. I don't know how long I should be running. I don't know how many calories to be consuming. Those are things that skills, if you will, of learning the habits around that, especially, that can help you push forward to that. Other questions to be asking: what people can you connect with that are already doing what you want to be doing? There's people that, I'm sure, weight loss, again, easy example. Look at people in your life, friends, family members that have lost weight and are looking great and are keeping it off and are doing really well. Ask them questions. Say, hey, I'm struggling with this. What did you do? What was your starting point? What were your first steps to take? And what are you doing now to keep those habits, to keep the weight off? Those people you want to surround yourself with and see who can help you. And then the last piece under this identify category is, what are the 5 biggest steps or barriers that you need to overcome to get there? And write these out. So 5 things and let's use a bigger weight loss goal. Say it was 50 pounds you wanted to lose. What are the main 5 steps that you need to get there? And that might be nutrition related. That might be a certain amount of days working out a week. That could be working with a coach, working with a trainer. That could be other, healthy habits, daily walks, those things. Identify whatever those 5 steps might be for you based on those things you research, based on the people you talk to, and then write those 5 biggest steps down. So second main strategy then is to find accountability and support. So you kind of have the structure in place. You have the framework in place. You've talked to people. You say, I have these 5 things that if I can do these 5 things, then I will get to my goal of blank. And once you have that, though, you need to find accountability and support. And that's where, look at any of the most successful systems we'll stick on the weight loss theme. I mean, think of things like Weight Watchers and these different places that create community and create that support needed to actually see sustainable results. Because if we try and do it on our own, bad things happen because we get in our own head, we get off track, we lose accountability. And I do think, above all, you need to be personally accountable first and foremost. If you're just looking for that externally, you're going to have a hard time reaching your goals. It has to be an internal drive to be personally accountable. But once you have that in place, find a person or a group who can help you grow, can help encourage you when things are tough. It can help be your support during those times of, I'm having a hard time. I slid back for a few days and I feel like I'm going to keep sliding. Have someone that you can reach out to, have a group you can surround yourself with, link arms with, and people that I guarantee you have gone through similar things. You're not the only one striving for this goal that you're after. You're not the only one striving to live a better life. Stephen Pressfield talks about it in The War of Art. One of my favorite books, by the way. He coins it as resistance. And any time that you try and level up from where you're at to the next level, you're going to be overcome with resistance. There's going to be external things. There's going to be internal doubts. There's going to be all sorts of things that flood you and keep you from taking that next step, from following through, from telling yourself that you're worthy of that you're good enough to achieve that. And if you don't surround yourself with people that can spot those things as lies, I love the analogy of we tend to see ourselves in these carnival mirrors and these things that really distort our image of ourselves. And we're like, well, we start to strive for something better. And we're like, well, maybe I'm not good enough. And I don't know, maybe I can't achieve that. I'm not like that person. It's not a good time right now for our family, for our finances to be able to do this. And the power of surrounding yourself with a group is when you have people that you let into your life like that, they'll see things for as you are. They'll see things for the truth they are, and not those lies that creep in, those things that tell us we're not good enough. They'll be able to point it out and say like, hey, no, this is totally normal. You're going through this. Yeah, I went through this. I still go through this. And they'll be able to encourage you and give you some, not just encourage you, but give you some actionable steps to say, hey, yes, I hear you. I feel you. I've been through this, but this is what worked for me. And this is what I recommend you trying. So Tony Robbins says that success leaves clues. Take the shortcut. Don't try and take the long road by trying to do it on your own. There's power in group, in accountability, in support. Third strategy here. This one's going to be very simple, but very effective. You have your 5 steps. You have your accountability in place. Take step number 1 today. Don't have to overcomplicate it. You've got a plan. You've got support. Just lean into it. Don't fall into my trap of trying to see the whole picture and be a planner and look at this. Just take that first step and see what happens. You'll be amazed at the opportunities that arise. You'll be amazed at the success you can see without needing to know anything else, but just having the bias towards action of taking that first step. So those are the 3 things, guys. First, identify what is needed to get to where you want to be. So list out those 5 steps. Secondly, find accountability and support. Seek out people who, formally, informally, that are doing what you want to be doing, and dive into what works and have someone that can keep you accountable. That's huge. Be personally accountable and have someone externally who can keep you accountable. And the third thing, guys, just take step number 1 today. Let's not overcomplicate it. Just dive in and start taking action. And notice it seems simple, but notice it's not take step number 1 on January 1. It's take step number 1 today, because this is when you're laying down the framework for what kind of year 2021 is going to be. We're pushing the last 5-6 weeks now of the new year. And these 6 weeks are what are going to really define people in the next phase of their life come 2021, because I guarantee you the action takers, the ones that are passionate and just jumping in and getting started right now, whatever that goal is going to be the ones that are ahead of the game. Because come January 1, they're already rolling. They've had the last 6 weeks of prepping. They're clear on what their next steps are. They're already moving. They got the habits in place. They're doing these things that are going to set themselves up for a huge 2021. So if you want 2021 to be your best year yet, now's the time, guys. So just get started, because like I said, it just breaks me to hear people putting off their goals. And I know people who've been putting off their most important goals for not just weeks, months, or 2020, but for years at this point. And imagine taking action right now. Imagine not being that person that continues to wait for the time to be just right. Imagine taking that first step, following your passion, following your goals, and seeing the opportunities that arise as things fall into place. And that's all possible with those things we talked about. Clarity, getting clear on what those things are that you need to do. Accountability, surround yourself with the right people. And then action. Take that first step and just get started on it. Now, if you guys feel like you need help on having the structure, support, and community to help you reach your most important goals and passions, I encourage you to head to the link in the show notes there. Check out the Men Made for More All Out Blitz 6-week coaching challenge we're doing. I talked about at the beginning of the show, and I just want to invite you guys in to be a part of that. If you're interested in leveling up over these next 6 weeks, and if you're not the type to wait until 2021, if you want to take action, and we're going to be covering everything from fitness and health and nutrition to just overall life goals and business goals and financial goals that we have. And guys already in the group, already signed up, that are linking arms and ready to start 2021 off right. So we'd love to see you in there. If you guys are interested in that, go ahead and check that out. But regardless of where you're at, don't wait for the new year to roll around. Now's the time to finish what you started. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.